YouTube people. Let's see. So this is the TKT Motors gb66. Now, what does GB stand for, you may ask? Why, it stands for Ghetto Bike. that's kind of the name I've given this project. So let's see. Oh yeah, actually, background. So this one YouTube user that I watch a lot, DuckmanCycles, left a comment on my channel asking when we were going to see more videos up there. So I'm like, he's a motorcycle guy. He might get a laugh out of this. So this is my not even remotely street legal, not really a motorcycle project. So I have a mountain bike, a really cheap mountain bike front fork. You can barely call it that, but it's kind of got suspension if you're heavy enough for it to overcome the friction that's between this part and this part. So I pulled that off of a bike that I got out that was sitting next to a dumpster, and the rear hub was all kinds of messed up. So I was gonna fix that bike, but then I realized it wasn't worth the trouble. So it just sat around my garage for a while, and I realized, hey, this fork will fit this frame. So I put that on there because I've wanted suspension on this project for a really long time. There's supposed to be a pin that in this thing that kind of goes into the handlebar, but that it's plastic and it broke off, so I have duct tape to stop this whole thing from rotating when I twist it back on the throttle. I'm too cheap to buy a dual pull, one of those special brake handles that has two of the things for the cable. So I actually have a clutch and a rear brake over here. Yes, I switched the brakes around so they're motorcycle style, because when I start riding an actual motorcycle, I don't want to like hit the rear, what I think is the rear brake, really hard and go flying over the handlebars. So now, I mean, I realize motorcycles don't usually have brakes over here. That's almost all exclusively a clutch, but just figured I'd do something. I get it as close to a motorcycle as I can get it. I got a front piece from a flashlight here as my headlight, and then the battery pack is taped to this head stem, whatever it's called. Gas tank. I've tightened these screws down as tight as I can. It's still relatively easy to do this. So actually, this thing rattles so much that actually it'll fall down by itself over time, and I have to like pull it back up a lot. Let's see. These pedals are all kinds of weird, and I can't figure out how to get them off. So basically, I have no way of like replacing these with lighter pedals. What I'm thinking of doing though, and I'd rather take them off before I do this though, is instead of replacing them, I want to heat. Actually, I saw this guy do it with a Kickstarter once. That he put like a real small single cylinder, like 120, 140 something engine on a mountain bike, and the Kickstarter interfered with the pedals or something, and anyway he cut like a triangle sort of shape in here, bent this out, welded it back together, and then did the same thing to bend this piece back, and then he basically pulled the whole Kickstarter out, and I kind of want to do something like that with my pedals. Now I will reduce the effective diameter, but I don't pedal that much anyway. I need to do it to get the thing started because it gets geared so high. Okay, that thing there is cracked, so it won't stay. The carburetor won't stay on. So I have part of a chopped up piece of inner tube helping to seal that, and then I have a lawnmower air filter and like some random stick that I found jammed in between the seat post think maybe this is the seat post. I don't know if I'm getting my terminology. Like this part of the frame, and then I have this another piece of an inner tube holding it, stopping this. We wanted to do this a lot, so now right now it's hitting the clutch arm, because the clutch. Oh no, it's not on. I don't know. Whatever. This inner tube here helps stop it from rotating quite as much as it did, and it also stops this from falling out. So, let's see. Okay, this thing, the chain tensioner, I'm gonna move in my background so it's in better light. Yeah. In case you can't tell, this video isn't even remotely scripted. I'm just kind of doing this as I go. The chain tensioner, this thing is the spawn of the devil. Okay, I've taken out 2 wheels now, because when the engine is, wow, that chain is tight. I may need to play with this. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. When the engine is pulling the bike, when the engine is powering the bike, this chain has tension, this chain has slack. When engine braking, which is actually, I think that's bad for a two-stroke, because you're running it at high speed but not getting a whole lot of oil. But when the bike is spinning the engine, there's tension on this chain, which causes this thing to deflect that way and right into the wheel and take out a whole bunch of spokes. And that happened when I was going really fast the first time, and scared the crap out of me, and I had to walk the rest of the way home and go back, get into a car and load it back up, and that was a pain. So what I did is surprise, surprise, I used more bicycle inner tube as like friction stuff, and this thing doesn't move at all now. And this bolt here is original, but neither of these two are, because the others stripped from me trying to tighten them so much. And I mean, I really had to wrench them down too, because that was before I had the rubber on there. So I was the way I was like making sure the thing did move, and it still did, but not as much, as I just wrenched them down insanely tight. Let's see. Oh. So I had one of these things, that little brass thing there, with the screw. I had one of those on the end of my clutch cable, holding it to the clutch arm. Now, if you look, I'll show you this. Oh, you can. Oh crap, you can't see it, but there's this thing. If you're familiar with these engines, there's this little thing. Okay. Imagine I have a cable going through this, and this is like the anchor point. So like the sleeve is going in this side, and then a bare cable's coming out that side. So basically something to anchor the sleeve to. Now this thing can rotate, but then there's like a bolt, like a nut. You know how if you have two nuts real close together, you tighten them into each other, so then they won't creep at all, or whatever the term is. Well, I had that adjusted improperly, and the cable was rubbing up against the wall, and it cut itself, and this thing is spring-loaded, so it went and I lost it. So I didn't even know where to get one, and I know now, but I already fixed it. The original brakes, might have gotten this off of something else, but I think the original brakes had, I gotta pull this thing off here. Oh, come on. Put the camera down. The original brakes had that thing, which is, hold on, I can't adjust the focus while the thing's going, so that sucks. But see, it's smaller on one end, so it fits in that hole there, and I think that was for the brake handle, that was on the handle end of the cable or something, I don't know. And then I had a mountain bike which was falling apart, and I regret doing this, but it's done. It was done a long time ago, so oh well. I took the front brake caliper from a mountain bike and used a wrench to just kind of, I went back and forth on it, and I broke this thing off, and because I just needed something to put tension on the cable. Oh crap, the little thing fell way the heck back. I gotta get that out. Oh wait, I got it. Oh, I got it. Yeah. So yeah, this is the ghetto bike, and the problem is this carburetor sucks, and I think part of that is the fact that, now it's always been like this, so it's probably not just this, but the thing I seem to remember looking this up, that the carburetor is built the way it comes from the factory is it's set way too rich, but it's not just adjustment screws alone, the mixture screw alone won't fix that. You have to like take the jet out and put a smaller jet in or something like that, but I don't really know enough about carburetors to like figure out where to get a jet and how to change that. Well, okay, I could probably get the old one out, and I could get the new one in, but where am I going to get one? So, and what size do I use? And I don't want to. The whole point of this project is TKT Mon is too cheap to buy a real motorcycle at this current time. I'll get one eventually, but it's going to be a few years. And so this is my what is, oh, holy crap, I spent like 150 on the engine kit. I spent like 15 on the bike. Well, 30 because I got two of them, and I've actually pulled a bunch of parts off the other one. I got this for free because I told you I got that was laying that was on a bike that was laying next to a dumpster. Oh, and I killed the CDI last year. I killed this. Well, I killed the coil, and I wasn't sure if it was the coil. I killed the thing with the thing that generates the power. The half of a transformer with the spinning magnets under this cover. I killed that because I rode it right after it had snowed, and salt water, like not super concentrated slush with lots of salt in it, kind of got all kicked up, and that's, if you can tell, it's got all over the engine, and I didn't realize until it was way too late, but a lot of it fell down to here and screwed up the windings. So at first I thought it was the CDI, so I actually hooked it up to a low voltage AC source. No, I hooked it up to a car battery, but I just connected it on and off real quick. But apparently the current that a car battery was able to produce going through this thing was too much, so it fried it, so I had to buy another one, along with another coil, but it works a little bit better now. So I guess I spent, let's see, a little over 20 bucks on that, and I figured since that carburetor sucks, I'm going to try to use this one eventually. So now the problem with this one is I like the fact that that's not a choke, they call it a fuel enrichment circuit. Like, you can actually run under power with that thing on. In fact, it doesn't like to climb hills unless I turn that on. So I'm wondering how this thing's gonna work how I'm gonna be able to ride this thing without a fuel enrichment circuit. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, that's my bike. So I hope this doesn't scare you too much, Duckman, on like how rigged up this thing is and how not safe it is. So yeah, there you go, update.